Welcome to the country where having a smartphone in your hands is something essential to your life. In 2021, it reported that 97% of Korean people used their smartphones. Compared to the USA, 80% of people use smartphones there. Do you know Samsung? This is a Korean brand, and they are the top one leaders about selling smartphones here in Korea, and Apple is the second one. Using smartphone is such a big thing here in Korea that the average screen time of Korean people is 9 hours a day. Here you see people using smartphone in the metro, on the street, and even on the street lights when you want to cross the street. The light is actually on the ground, so you don't have to take your attention off the smartphone to cross the road. Welcome to South Korea, and the smartphone is only one of the many interesting things about this country. Well, I invite you to come with me in this journey. Here in Korea, you have cameras everywhere. Inside the buses, in the public spaces, inside the metro, they are everywhere. But there is a really good side of that. If you see in this graphic, in 2021, there was less than 500 people arrested by robbery here in South Korea. So in a country of millions of people, only less than 500 people got arrested for robbing someone here in South Korea. So this place is really safe. So I had to check about that myself, and I left my notebook inside a Starbucks for 1 hour and went out for a walk. Surest thing that I wouldn't get robbed here in this country. So in this Starbucks, I left my notebook on the second floor because the second floor was more busy, so I had more chances to get robbed. And then I went for a walk in the city, and I realized that this place is really safe because people respect each other. You can see, for example, that people use a lot of masks on the streets because when someone here gets sick, they put the mask on themselves to not infect another people. And after 1 hour, I came back to see, and look, my notebook was still there. After 1 hour, man, I wouldn't do this in any place in the world. Neither Europe, neither United States, neither in my country, Brazil. Really, really safe. But there is another controversial side about having so much cameras in this country. In this country, it's very common of people taking photos under the skirts of women. This problem is very common here, and also men harassing women. Like this video of this guy harassing this woman inside the metro. As you can see, he tried to touch her boobs while she was asleep. And another problem here is hidden cameras. That's why when I got my Airbnb in South Korea, I went straight to look for hidden cameras in my room. And I'm not even kidding. It can really happen to you here in South Korea, so be aware of that. And welcome to the toilet. Another thing that's really interesting here in South Korea. The toilets here in South Korea are made for you to have the best shit possible, the best experience when spending 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes in the toilet. They have all these commands that you can put water in your ass, some air conditioner up your ass, you can heat the toilet, you can do all possible stuff. And that's all, my friend, for you to have the best experience possible. Nice. South Korea is a really different place, so let's immerse in this culture. 안녕하세요. And these houses behind me, they exist for more than 600 years. And this clothes I'm wearing right now is a very traditional Korean clothes. Look at the details of these houses. Look at the roof, look at the walls, the street. Everything is so different and so amazingly beautiful. It's very interesting because this country, South Korea, was a very poor country in the 1960s. But this changed once the government decided to base his economy on the free market. And since then, Korean government gave a lot of help to companies like Samsung, LG. Okay, sorry. Okay, she told me to talk more quiet, right? But this changed once the government decided to help. Companies like LG, Samsung, Hyundai. So the 10th biggest companies in South Korea lead 44% of the GDP of the country. That's a lot. And working in one of these companies is the dream of many Korean people. But this Korean economic miracle has a bad side because these companies, these big companies, they're so big that there is no much space for small companies. And also the Koreans, the dream of their life is to work in one of these big companies like Samsung, Hyundai. If you don't work in any of these big companies, you're not like on the top level of like a Korean life. So this makes Korean people work too much and study too much, and they don't have time to marry or have kids. And I saw on the internet that the Korean population will be extinct by the year of 2750. I know this is very far away, but you know what I'm talking about. People study a lot, work a lot, and don't have time to have kids or to marry in this country. Now we need to talk about how people here are very organized. We are now in the metro station and people are very organized, making lines to enter the metro. And they are like this in every aspect of life. Look at this car crash, for example, in the tunnel. In a question of minutes, they organized every single car for the ambulance to pass through. That's the mentality of people here in South Korea. And look at the subway map of this country. Look how many lines of subway there are, how much this is very organized for people to go from one place to the city to another place as fast as you can. Look how much complex and how much, man, I've never seen anything like this in my life. I've been traveling in Europe, that they have really good metro system too, but nothing can compare like this, man, seriously. Jump cut for another station that has more people. Look how people organize themselves in the line. Like, look, entering in the wagon, so much more organized. Now I will tell you some interesting facts about this country. I will start with the internet. South Korea has the best internet in the world. And the national sport here is StarCraft. It's a video game sport. It's a game like a League of Legends, man. And look at this gas station that I just saw. The pumps were above. I've never seen anything like that. And this is really interesting. I haven't seen any pigeon in here, man. And the number 4 here can be something related to bad luck. So that's why you don't see people usually using number 4 in this country. And normally you cannot smoke on the street here. So that's why they built this place on the street for people to go and smoke, like a smoking area on the street in an open space. That's really funny and I like it. And these are some interesting facts about this country. And another thing that the Korean people are the best at is the cosmetics. For example, men here, they use a lot of skincare, makeup, hair creams, all this type of cosmetics that we don't care about in the Western world, they use a lot here. Look at these statistics, for example. Korean men are responsible for buying 1/4 of the world cosmetics for men. This is insane. And this makeup place has 2 floors. So we have men care, lifestyle, skincare. This first floor, makeup, beauty tools, nails, and second, hair care, body care, and food. So it's like a shopping mall only for cosmetics. Korea is the best place for buying cosmetics in the world. And another interesting thing, here you see a lot of men actually buying the cosmetics. In Brazil, in my country, or United States, you only see women buying cosmetics and men are only there to follow them. Sure. But here you actually see men by themselves. They come alone to buy the cosmetics. Yes, man, Korean people put a lot of time into the aesthetics. And also, let me show you the Hollywood of Korea, Gangnam. This music, Gangnam Style, was so famous at the time. That was the first video to hit 1 billion views on YouTube. It broke all the records of the platform. Today is not the most viewed video on YouTube, it's the 10th most viewed video on YouTube, but it was so popular and so good for Korea that they put a whole statue in the center of Gangnam. And it's so important that they made a bronze statue, so they spent a lot of money in this statue right here. And this music talks about the district of Gangnam, which is a district that has 2 faces. During the day, it's a very calm and quiet place, but during the night, it's the total opposite. It's a lot of parties and people spending money everywhere. And Gang means river and Nan, south. So it's a district that is in the south of Seoul.
Man, South Korea is really an amazing place. And I'm staying for a couple weeks in this place and documenting everything that I see. So make sure to subscribe to my channel and see you in the next video.
Sexy lady.